baby.
Jeez. Right here. What's up, guys? We're super excited. This is episode 1 of What's Cooking with the McLemore Boys. We've been working on that title for a long time.
Yep.
We got a fun trivia, a couple questions at the end of this episode where we're going to ask you some questions because we want your help with our podcast. But What's Cooking with the McLemore Boys, episode 1 coming to you. It is the new year. The McLemore Boys have been around for 4 years now. And we're going to get into segment 1 because who are we and why are we doing a podcast? I don't think we know, but we have apparently a lot to say and a lot to talk about. And we are a father-son duo. We love traveling the country, cooking for all of you great Americans out there. That's right. And at the end of the day, we love having a good time and spending time with our family and friends. Yeah. Our family being father, son, Mama Mac, Bree, my wife, JD, our team, and all of our friends, you guys out there. So this is going to be a space and an opportunity for us to have some guests on throughout our travels and, you know, share our thoughts on the world. Dad?
That's right. So what I love about it is the McLemore Boys are all about family. So as this podcast continues, we're going to have Bailey and Brooke. We're going to have Michael. We're going to have the whole family on. A special guest is going to be my dad, Paul. We're going to have him on with somebody that we're honoring.
Yep.
So,
and then to kick off this year, we're going to get into this in a little bit, is our Grillin Across America for America 250 tour that we're doing this year.
Crazy.
Like I said, we are in year 4 of the McLemore Boys. We're going to get into our story and who are we and how did we come get to this point. But we've got a really exciting 2026 celebrating America 250 and their America's 250th birthday. We've got a really cool tour. We've got some great updates and some amazing partners on some big things that we're doing. But we are actually, I'm not going to spoil the surprise yet, but we got some cool things coming. And through that tour, we're actually going to be kind of on the road and doing an on-the-road version of this podcast. So you'll see us here in studio doing these kind of table talks. And then we're going to be out and about and actually in the world at locations. You guys see us at all these amazing locations. We're taking this on the road to where we can actually go to some of these high-profile people, celebrities, you know, I don't know, maybe President Trump, maybe Pete Hegseth, maybe NASCAR drivers or country music singers, and all the people that we see, all you guys great Americans out there, we want to have you on the podcast as well. So we're going to come to you.
That's right. I actually like the fact that we're taking this on the road because so much of what we do is outside of our home right here in Fort Worth, Georgia. So whether we're in Florida, San Diego, California, New York, Texas, the Midwest, we're going to be traveling the country. And what we're excited about is we want to take all of y'all along on the journey, on the road with us because the recipes that we get are from y'all. The stories that we get are from y'all. So we're excited to be able to share this with everybody that out there watches the McLemore Boys.
So a couple of housekeeping things. This is What's Cooking with the McLemore Boys. We're super excited to be coming to you guys, bringing our thoughts. And, you know, it'll be What's Cooking is a little bit of cooking and food, but it's also what's going on, what's happening. It's the COOKIN apostrophe. Yeah. It's what's going on in our lives and what we're doing out and about in there with you guys. But I am your host, John McLemore II.
That's right.
Dad is going to be our co-host, John McLemore Sr. You don't go by Senior.
No.
But my grandfather, Paul, or you call him.
Yep, I call him Old Man.
Old Man.
Not old, not OLD man, OLE man.
Yep.
Old Man.
He is going to be one of our first honorary guests, but he is John Dawson McLemore. People do ask us that sometimes. Mm-hmm. His legal name is misspelled.
Yeah.
J-N-O, Jano. But it's John Dawson McLemore. So Dad technically is senior. I'm the second. And then JD, John Darren McLemore III, Brittany and I's firstborn. He is 8 months old now. So, housekeeping, I'll be your host, John McLemore II. Our co-host is John McLemore Sr. We are the McLemore Boys, and this is going to be What's Cooking with the McLemore Boys. We are officially rolling with that title. But like I said, we have some fun trivia. We want to ask you guys some questions at the end of this because I got some podcast things I want to ask the audience.
Yeah.
So we're going to go into segment 2. Who are the McLemore Boys? Let's talk about our story. How did we get here, Dad? I want you to start with a little bit of the Masterbuilt story.
Okay.
I think people kind of know us, the McLemore family, as the founders of Masterbuilt. Tell us a little bit about that and kind of how we went from Masterbuilt to the McLemore Boys.
All right, so I love telling this story, and I'm going to take a tagline from a really close friend of ours, Richard Childress, out there at RCR Racing. He says it best. He said, "Only in America can we do what we do and follow our dreams and have the stories that we have to tell." Masterbuilt is a all-American success story. In 1973, Dawson McLemore, my dad, I call him the old man, Paw to my grandkids, started this business literally in the backyard on a dirt floor in a rented house with 7 of us living in this little house, and basically just started M&M Welding. M&M Welding started some growth. We got out of the backyard. In 1976, my dad retired or quit his job at Goodyear Tire and Rubber Company, went full-time M&M Welding. And as the company grew, he's like, we need a brand.
Yeah, so real quick, people don't really probably know that part, that it was M&M Welding, which stood for?
McLemore.
And we were a welding, I'd say I wasn't born yet, but welding, fabrication, y'all built, what did all y'all build?
So the most successful products that we put on the market were products that we literally built for ourselves. The very first product that M&M Welding built was a fern stand,
which I think we're going to have on an episode with Paw.
We will have. Yep,
we'll show you guys that product.
All the products. If we've still got some of the archive products, we'll have them on the show. And she wanted to be able to water her plants inside of her house and not get water everywhere. So she put the plant on top and put a little bowl underneath it. So the fern stand was built for her. And my dad built the first one, put it in the back of his car, and as he traveled around, he stopped into the nurseries and hardware stores and little mom and pop stores and said, "Hey, would y'all like to buy this little fern stand?"
Yeah.
And they were like, "How much is it?" He said, I don't know, $10. So he sold 50 on his first week out.
I don't know that I knew that.
And he came back home and he's like, "Well, how am I going to build these products?" So he borrowed $25 from a neighbor, was donated a welder by an uncle of mine, and basically took the welder, bought some strip steel. It was funny because we were living in this little neighborhood and we'd have these steel trucks pull up to our house.
and we're gonna tell that story with Paw, with old man, in detail here in a couple of episodes.
So you want the shorter version?
I want the shorter version.
Okay. So we built the fern stand and figured out how to start building them. Fern stands turned into fish cookers, turned into turkey fryers, turned into baker's racks.
So fern stand turned into fish cookers.
Yeah.
M&M Welding turned into
Masterbuilt.
So tell us where Masterbuilt came from.
So great story. I've only told it once, so I might mess it up. So as we're in the backyard, as this little McLemore Welding Company, my dad, old man, said, "We need a brand. We need something that's more than just M&M Welding." So he's driving home. He tells the story. I love it. The sun is literally setting in his rearview mirror as he's driving back home, and from Montgomery, Alabama to Columbus, Georgia. And he's got this God moment. He's like, says a prayer. He says, "God, you're the master. We're going to be the builders. If you will help us run this family business, we will name it after you," which is where the name Masterbuilt came from.
That's what's crazy is, you look through the years of Masterbuilt from, small town, blue collar, hardworking family business, giving it to Christ, to fires that burn. We'll tell all these stories, to fires burning down your warehouse, to a second fire that burned down, all of your product inventory, to recalls, to losing customers, to gaining customers, just this roller coaster. And anybody out there that has small business, part of what we want to talk about and what's cooking with the McLemore Boys is what's going on. We're small business owners. We Masterbuilt was, and it grew. We are now small business owners again with the McLemore Boys. We're going to talk business, we're going to talk food and all those things. But what's cool about that journey is Masterbuilt, when Paul gave it to the Lord,
Yeah.
And named it Masterbuilt, would you argue we would have not gotten through all the ups and downs, and Masterbuilt would not be what it is today without Christ?
No question. And I know there's going to be a verse of the episode. I'm going to go ahead and spill that one real quick. Philippians 4:13 says, I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me. So the answer is yes. In my personal life, definitely in my business life, there is no possible way that I or our family or our team would have made it through some of the crazy ups and downs in this crazy roller coaster ride of a small business without being able to lean on him. And we'll be able to tell a lot of stories, but we put prayer in our meetings, in our companies, not just at lunch and dinners, but we literally would pray before our meetings. And later through our business, when my brother Don and I owned it by ourselves, we started tithing.
We took a tithe and offering every month.
Passed around the plate
to pay for our bills. I'm just kidding. That is a joke.
No.
But we did prayer partners.
That's not a joke. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. Give us your tithe and offering so we can pay your salary.
We can pay your salary.
We did prayer partners. We had core values. We, mission, vision, all that stuff.
Right.
But so let's fast forward real quick because M&M Welding became Masterbuilt. Masterbuilt turned into more, instead of just y'all sold cards at one point. Y'all built stuff, but it turned into fish cookers.
Yeah.
Which we had hitch hauls, which I would love for you to tell that story one day, is where the hitch haul and the Broncos and all that stuff, where that came from. But it went into fish cookers and then the fryer and the smoker. Tell us, in that late 90s, 2000s journey, Paul, there were 4 brothers, 2 got out. You and Uncle Don, which were the 2 youngest, were the last in. In 98, Paul sold you guys the business,
so he actually,
you said you bought in at $5,000 or something.
He actually sold us each 20% of the company in 1984.
Okay.
And so
you were how old?
I was 18.
Yeah. Just for those out there, I did not buy a portion of Masterbuilt when I was 18
big mistake.
for $5,000.
Single greatest investment I've ever made in my life.
I'm sure.
So what's crazy is we took this backyard company and just really a lot of things that my dad did, I still do today, even in our small business, and even if I'm on a tractor, is I think things through enough to know that I need to do it, but I don't think it through so much that I talk myself out of doing it. Because if I did, I wouldn't have done half the things that I've done. And so as we're growing this business, and we literally go from the backyard to fast forward into 2016 when we sold to private equity. Later in 21, we sold to a publicly traded company called Middleby. We were a worldwide company.
Yeah.
And a brand playing in a fishbowl with some of the top brands out there, whether it's Weber or Charbroil or Traeger or some of those guys, and really playing in the sandbox with the big boys.
Yep.
I loved the challenge, and we'll make a note of this to talk about what R&D stands for.
Yeah.
A lot of company thinks it stands for research and development instead of research and duplicate.
Yeah.
We prided ourselves on doing something in an industry that had never, ever been done before, so that we could actually own that particular product and put our brand Masterbuilt on something that not everybody was doing.
Right, yeah. And I think you might have said it backwards.
Yeah.
Y'all believed in research and development, not research and duplicate.
We
a lot of
believed
companies would research and duplicate. They would literally take products, break them down, duplicate them, and improve a couple things. But we really Masterbuilt strived to come out with products that we personally used that solved a problem in the world. And I think you're kind of alluding to that being part of the success journey. So we go into the early 2000s with the indoor electric turkey fryer. Never been done. You always hear the horror stories of burning houses down with propane fryers. Well, till this day, an indoor Masterbuilt electric turkey fryer has never burned down a house, never had an oil fire, grease fire.
Never ever had a grease fire on a Masterbuilt electric turkey fryer.
And we'll talk about why later, but we innovated in that space. Then we went into the vertical electric smoker space.
Actually, we did vertical smokers first, and
The 7-in-1.
the 7-in-1 smoker,
technically.
and then later in the late 1990s, early 2000s, we had the electric smoker box.
Yeah.
Then in 2003, we came out with the indoor electric turkey fryer.
Yeah. And then 2005 was the kind of the first, you like a mini fridge, vertical electric smoker that we hit with, was it Sam's or Walmart?
We actually started with mom and pops, then got it into Walmart, Sam's, Home Depot, Lowe's, Amazon.
And that kind of took us on this path. So we're going to wrap up here with Masterbuilt grew, okay? And just God blessed us. You bought Uncle Don out in 2012, became sole owner.
Right.
We brought on private equity in 2016. You sold 70%. This is public information, but you sold 70%, but stayed on as 30% owner. Stayed on as CEO for a couple of years. Stepped down. He says he was fired. We'll tell that funny story later. We have a lot of funny, just awesome stories. Yeah. And we sold again almost 5 years to the day to Dominus Capital Private Equity, sold to Middleby, which Masterbuilt became publicly traded. We had made some acquisitions through that time.
Right.
And in 2021, December, we sold. So 2022 starts. Dad and I are out of a job.
Right.
You probably shoulda, coulda, shoulda retired. I
still can.
Still can. I definitely needed a job. I was in my late 20s, and we got an opportunity by Masterbuilt to say, hey, look, you're not going to work for us on a day-to-day basis, but we love the family story. We want the McLemores to still be a part of it. It's too intertwined.
Right.
We want you guys to continue, promoting the brand, and we'd love to have you be as, ambassadors and spokesmen. At that time, we had never thought about being an influencer or being, it was always selling grills. It was always building so we had no social following and all that stuff personally. We got an opportunity to go do some Fox segments. You had done Fox for about 25 years, just intermittent, couple times a year. And we got an opportunity to do a couple Fox segments, and Mash was like, yeah, we'll go do a couple segments. We'll pay you this. And, brand exposure, that kind of stuff. We showed up to Fox in T-shirts and a backwards cap and just kind of told the journey. And I think the Fox viewer just responded to how, I'd like to think, how real we were. We were not polished. We understood TV. We understood, how Fox operated and how to present good content on TV. And we knew food. Yeah. But we just brought, we intentionally tried to be ourselves, but brought a fun 4 to 5 minutes of fun distraction. Faith, family, food, fun, and freedom was kind of our core, core values. And now we state them more because, we're more aware of them.
Right.
But back then it was just like,
we were still trying to figure out who we were.
We were trying to figure it out. So the McLemore Boys, we're going to wrap up this segment with, how did we get our name?
All right. So as we're doing Fox, and I've been doing it for 25 years, and quick little story about why I opened up this show like so animated and crazy. John and I had done Fox, half a dozen times. Just, he'd have a little cameo doing some of the segments while I was up there doing it. But when we first officially went on to Fox, like
as a duo,
as a father-son duo, trying to figure out,
we'll try to find who we were segment somewhere.
John opens the segment up for the very first time, because I'd always open it up, and then he'd come in.
And I was probably pretty nervous.
Oh yeah. Well, when he opened the segment, he had obviously forgot to take his Ritalin and had put in some kind of magical drug in his body, because he opened up the segment like, whoa, he like goes crazy. So it shocks my senses. We turn, chest bump, high five.
And I'm like, let's go. Who's excited for some food? It's 6 a.m, baby. Let's go.
So at that point, high five was born. Let's Go was born, which everybody says, but
Yeah.
it's kind of our thing.
In the Fox world, I don't like, and again, we love Fox, but it's more news, it's more politics.
Yeah.
It's kind of more here. And I think we unintentionally brought this energy and this, like we were always outside, not in studio.
Yeah.
And we had this space to like be a little different. And we started Let's Go and wooing. And
So we've got IFBs in our ears, and we're listening to the control room and the executive producer, giving us some pointers on what to do or not to do. So when we get through the segment, we're like a little nervous, like, did we just get fired and not be able to come back on? I was like, hey, were y'all okay with that? Like, we loved it. Like,
that was
bring
awesome.
it. Like, let's keep doing the same thing.
And then they popped in there, were like, can y'all bring some of that food to
17th floor,
the 17th floor, the 32nd floor, the whatever,
control room.
the control room.
We
So-
feed the security. We feed everybody.
Ops, lighting,
ops,
control room.
Because I don't know if y'all know it or not, but if you don't feed the camera guy, he'll make you look fat.
He puts a fat filter
Or
on you.
put half your head on or something. So we always feed the camera crew and the sound and the control room. So back to the story about how we got our name. Been doing it, like I said, for 25 years at that point.
Yeah.
And the three that we did the most with was the weekend, Fox and Friends weekend, host, which was Pete Hexeth, Will Kane, and Rachel Campos Duffy.
Yeah.
And still three great friends of ours. Pete obviously is now our Secretary of War. And Will Kane has his own show at 4:00 every day, Monday through Friday now. And Rachel is still on the weekend show.
Dang, you plugged Will's show like straight up.
I want to be. Will Kane's going to be one of our guests on here. You just don't know it yet. So as we're doing our weekends and trying to figure this out, we're telling them, hey, we're actually going to make a go of this, figure out this father and son duo kind of thing, but we don't really have a name. And Pete Hexeth said, well, you're my boys.
He would always be like, yeah, you're my boys.
Boys
Boys
and
are
Will
back.
Kane was like, yeah, you're the McLemores. And Rachel was like, yeah, you're the McLemore Boys. So we just kind of took that from them helping us get this name.
And it just stuck.
It just stuck.
We joke that we're not a boy band.
not a boy band.
McLemore Boys sounds like Backstreet Boys, or it's like we're not a boy band. I can promise you, we white and we can't dance,
And we can't sing.
and we can't sing. Bailey can sing, my sister.
Yeah.
But the McLemore Boys was born, and it's funny how 2022 we got a call, and we'll get into this more details later because we're about to talk about kind of what's next, what events and activations and things that we do to add some color to the McLemore Boys. I think people see us on social, but they don't maybe always know. We still don't know who we are and what we're doing, but
we do know that we're two rednecks from Georgia that love to cook and give back to our military.
we do know that, and we love
do
the
know
Lord.
that.
We love our family. We love America. Yeah. But we got a call from a friend of ours at Fox, and he was like, hey, we'll tell this story in more detail later. I'd love to have AJ on the podcast. I don't know that we can do that, but
We are going to ask.
we're going to ask. So he's like, hey, would y'all love to do the concert series? Mind you, we had done a handful of segments as the Johns, as the McLemore Boys.
Yeah, starting out that year, we actually did. We did the beginning
Super Bowl?
of the year, Super Bowl.
Well, no, we did. Didn't we do like a New Year
did.
thing or something?
We did a New Year thing. We did Daytona 500. We did
It
Super
was
Bowl.
Super Bowl, then Daytona,
Yeah,
and then Talladega,
and then Talladega.
and then there's always this like maybe a couple of weeks or a month or so from Talladega to Memorial Day. And we were trying to figure out what we're going to do for the summer. I'm trying to figure out how to make some money. And AJ calls, hey, we need help with the concert series. We're like, cool. Like, what is it? When is it?
John actually is more like me than I realized at that moment, because we get this call, would you like, yes. We're like, well, we don't even know what it is. And we committed to the concert series, and then
This was 9 days before the first concert.
9 days before Memorial Day weekend, and they said, "Well, it's 15 back to 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 backs
Fridays. Yep.
And we're like, sure. So we figured out that we could do this.
We called a couple brands. We called a couple of friends.
Shout out to Sarah, our food stylist friend.
QVC, longtime friend. We'll have her on the podcast.
Oh, yes.
Tell some amazing, funny stories behind the scenes, how we make it happen. We called Ryan Lane with Lane's Barbecue. They actually drove. We'll have Ryan and them on. They drove from
15.
Georgia to New York for 6 of the 15 and helped us pull them off.
Yeah.
Masterbuilt was a great partner that year. We're probably forgetting a few people, but we called a couple friends to make this happen. And we blinked, and we had done Fox, I think, because one of them got canceled, and we had done Fox 28 times in 15 weeks. We did 5.
It was actually
two,
more than that.
We did 2 segments.
We did 2 segments every Friday, and that was the year either the smoke.
No, that was the Queen.
It was
Queen
the
passed.
Queen passing, or was it her birthday?
I don't
It was
remember.
one of them, and we're like, okay, we got trumped by the Queen, which was honorable.
Yeah.
And then in between that, we did a Saturday, Memorial Day, 4th of July, Father's Day,
Yeah.
and Labor Day.
So we blinked, and we had done Fox almost 40 times that year.
Insanity.
And we go into 2023. HarperCollins, just through the Fox connections, they had shown interest in a book.
Yeah.
We're both highly dyslexic, and we're like, you had written 3 cookbooks. We'll tell that story later, as well as how did you do the first 3. And I'm like, I'm not an author. I had to bribe my friend to get me through English 1101 and 1102 in college. And, but a cookbook at least has a lot of pictures.
It does.
And we ended up 2023 writing a book. We launched that in 2024.
Yeah. And for those that don't know, News Corp owns Fox, and News Corp owns HarperCollins.
Yeah.
So there was a good tie and a connection for us to be able to have our book, tell all the stories at Fox. And in that book, and we'll get deep into the pages of Gather and Grill, but all of our friends from Fox are in there. The people that we met along the way have recipes and stories in there. It was hard to do, but it was a really fun.
It gave Mom shingles.
It gave Tanya the shingles.
So this was just before I had met Bree.
Yeah.
So me, Dad, and Mom wrote the book. I did all the photos. So in Gather and Grill, 100% of the photos were done by me.
I wrote all the stories.
Dad wrote all the stories. We obviously wrote the recipes together. I'm pretty sure, I don't want to say every single, but I'm pretty sure every single recipe has a story, either family tied, us tied, or we've met somebody out there. Pete Hegseth and Flo Rida and Travis Pastrana, to name a few, have recipes. A lot of Fox people have recipes in the book.
Right.
And it's gathering and grilling. Speaking of gathering and grilling, what do we do? People ask us all the time, what exactly, because I wouldn't say that we're traditional influencers. We don't make recipe videos every single day. We're kind of out and about. We're on tractors. What exactly do we do? And what are the type of events, like you could look back this year and say, what are the events that we do?
So obviously food is what we do. We're not caterers. What we love to do is give an experience to what the recipe or the event that we're doing for the people, whether it's 10 people or 500 people. If it's a really big crowd, we'll get a catering company to come help us do it.
Yeah, they'll do the mass and we do the experience.
That's right. So I think the McLemore Boys are 2 guys from Georgia that travel around, cook, tell stories, and show people how to reverse sear a steak, how to cook a Boston butt, how to, do a really fun recipe for their family, for their friends, for an event. And as we're doing this, we love to tie it to some type of event, a military event. We are a part of 8 to 10, maybe 12 different type charities.
Yep,
nonprofits.
nonprofits.
We'll get into the details of that, but it's a small price that we pay to try to give back,
Yeah.
to the men and women that made us in such a great country.
Yeah. At the end of the day, who I think we are and the events that we kind of end up doing sometimes is we're storytellers.
Yeah.
And that's what I kind of come back to is we try to relate to people. I think that's why like our Fox segments kind of always are really fun is because we try to bring 4 to 5 minutes of distraction, fun distraction. We talk about our faith, our family. Obviously, we use food as a vessel for what we do. We love America. But we're storytellers and we try to just have fun. We bring fun, energy, and passion, especially to the Fox world. But, in our content, there's not a lot of father-sons out there. I do think the whole, father in the household is very important. That's very important to us and the impact it's had on me. But being able to share what we do as a father-son duo and bringing fun and energy, I think people just relate to that and it's fun. It's passion and energy is addicting when it's true, when it's authentic, and you can't fake it. It is one thing, passion and energy about what you do in life or conviction about who you are is hard to fake.
Yeah,
it's not something you can fake, and I think it's addicting. And I think that's what we try to show. Food is our vessel, but we try to show that in what we do.
Yeah, I agree. And as we do our events, we always try to have, the story is great, just like in a cookbook, but we also want people to learn some type of a technique about how to make their cooking experience more fun, more successful. Whether you're cooking the number one meal of the year, which is Thanksgiving, or Christmas,
or New Year's,
or your
4th of July,
birthday party, or you're just cooking at home for just your wife or your spouse.
And I'll tell stories on the podcast too of, I remember growing up, Dad throwing a towel over your shoulder, and didn't matter what you wore. It just mattered what you're cooking and us and coming together, gathering and grilling.
Right.
So we'll tell a lot of fun stories there. But the type of events that we do, especially this past year, is we now MC various things. We've we've been honored to MC some pretty cool events and fundraisers and galas. We actually did a grand opening this past year where we MC'd the grand opening for Smith & Wesson at their training academy, and then we brought in Lane's Barbecue to cater for about 550 people. And then we showed them a barbecue experience. We had big tomahawk steaks. Shout out to Santos Petronas. We got some Wagyu beef in. And we threw steaks on. We had people literally 15 feet away throwing tomahawks on. So we show a good fun time. We did the Georgia-Tennessee game for their corporate tailgate. And then we cooked in Key West with all the big name barbecue influencers out there, to what we do on Fox, to the motorhome travels,
it's
camping.
There are times that it's kind of a pinch me moment because of what we do, it's afforded us the opportunity to be in some amazing places, whether we're cooking in Key West, Florida, or MCing a sponsored dinner the night before we go to Mar-a-Lago. It has just been wow.
What's a pinch?
A pinch me moment?
A pinch me moment.
A pinch me moment.
Oh, you answered it. Hey, Dad's gonna call you back.
Sorry.
We're actually this is Brian Trevathan. We're doing our first episode of our podcast.
I'll call you back.
You need to answer the phone for him.
You're on the podcast, Brian. You're our first official guest now.
That didn't go how you thought, did it?
That's funny. How much do you love my daughter? He can't hear me.
There's no words to describe it.
Greatest son-in-law I have.
It's the only one you got.
It's still the greatest.
All right, hey, we'll call you back later, buddy.
Bye.
Sorry. I can't believe you answered that. It's even on Do Not Disturb.
I was
all right.
Trying to hit the little red button.
Well, hopefully that's indicative of our podcast. Is it's going to be wild, fun, and crazy. And It ain't gonna be overly polished at some times, but
So, we've kind of gone through this list right here, but the first the McLemore Boys event ever. Did we already tell that story?
you did tell that story.
I told
You
that
jumped the
story.
gun
I
about
did.
me woo-hooing on
did.
Fox. We do have a fun story, like maybe our second or third concert. We wore blueberry outfits and didn't tell the producers.
We
But
did not.
We don't have to tell the whole story because we do
the
need to.
book.
We got to get on it. But
That's when you promote your cookbook, the stories of the cookbook. Buy the cookbook, and then you'll read the story.
there you go. We're gonna leave you hanging. But yeah, we wore blueberry suits and didn't tell the
I
producers.
didn't think you were going to tell the story.
And I wasn't. I was just reiterating. And we've done a lot of crazy things. Then I'll kind of close this segment with NASCAR. We have done, I don't know how many NASCAR races now, but the point there is we've got a really cool year coming up because this past year we cooked for RCR 4 times and they won 3 races. So that was probably the best sales pitch we could have ever given.
Yeah.
Because
cool.
we've got some really cool brands that are coming on board with us to do. I don't know. We're going to talk about this in a second, but we got like probably 41 to 45 or so different activations, events. A lot of NASCAR races this year, America 250 events. So we've got a really cool packed year. But we also do a lot of nonprofit stuff. We work with a lot of amazing charities. So we do a lot of veteran. So active duty MSOs to veteran VSO organizations or veteran service organizations to wounded heroes, wounded warriors, and we're the National Pediatric Cancer Foundation culinary ambassadors. So pediatric cancer, a lot of veteran, a lot of active duty stuff, which takes me to segment 4. And we're going to wrap up here in a second for episode 1, which is one of the things that we're excited to announce is we have actually entered into a partnership with USO.
Yeah.
And we're really excited to announce this, that they're going to be, one of our key partners for 2026. USO, we're so thankful. We're super excited. We've got a lot of cool events coming up, a lot of activations, and we're going to be helping raise money for USO. And what that means to us is we're not going to announce it right now, but some really cool things coming in the coming weeks with our America 250 tour. A really cool announcement that's coming here soon. When do you think we're going to announce that? A couple weeks? Maybe a month?
Which part?
The big thing.
I think we will announce that within the next 30 days.
Okay.
And we'll tease a little bit about what she's going to look like.
Yeah.
And we will unveil it sometime in the beginning of April.
Pretty cool announcement, guys.
And the first event will be at the Talladega Motor Speedway.
Yeah. So we are going to be doing Super Bowl. We've got Daytona 500 coming up. We've got some cool events and activations leading up to Talladega 500.
Yeah.
Talladega 500, you do not want to miss it because that's going to be a massive, epic America 250 celebration with a massive unveiling of this thing that we are going to be traveling the world in, celebrating America 250. You don't want to miss it. But we're excited about our USO partnership. And what that means is our ability to celebrate our veterans, which I think is going to take me into our last part of our podcast. What we're going to try to do I take that back. What we are going to do on every podcast is close the podcast episode with our hero of the week. That hero can be a veteran, a wounded hero, active duty, first responders, teachers. So we wanted to honor our first podcast episode ever with What's Cooking with the McLemore Boys is to honor our hero of the week as being Paw Paw, old man, served in the Navy. He actually recently went back to the USS Yorktown.
Yeah.
And saw some of his shipmates.
He toured the actual ship that he was on and was able to find the bunk that he stayed in.
That is just crazy. And I'm pretty sure it's decommissioned in Virginia or somewhere.
Yeah, I think so.
Don't quote me on that, but our hero of the week, we love you, Pawpaw, old man, founder of Masterbuilt,
Yeah.
inventor, father, husband, grandfather,
Yeah.
leader, friend.
Just went hunting with the old man just a few days ago, and the stories that come out of this man is pretty unbelievable, and he's a hero to our country for what he did in serving in the Navy.
Right.
But he's a hero to me because everything that I am about came from my dad.
Yep.
So
Same.
thank you, old man, for giving me the life that I have. Thank you for serving our
Yep.
country. Thank you for being the man that you are. And yeah, it's pretty cool. He's a cool dude.
He's pretty cool. He is 89 years old.
89,
which is
January 11th.
89 January 11th.
Yeah.
And we need to get him on the podcast pretty soon
Yeah.
because we hope we got a lot of years left. But he's 89.
Yeah. Wow.
And I'm going to go ahead and say it. He's probably going to be our first official guest.
Yeah.
Is have an old man. So old man, thank you. You're a hero of the week. We love you. Thank you for what you've done for us and our country. We are going to close this with some trivia. It's not real trivia, but
Is this trivia for me or the people?
it's for the people watching. So let me pull this up because
Can I answer?
yeah, of course you can answer. So we had some podcast names that we were floating originally. The McLemore Boys podcast, What's Cooking with the McLemore Boys, which is kind of the leading candidate, which I think we're going with. McLemore Meetup, that was a good one. Smoke Signals, Table Talk.
Smoke signals. That could be taken a lot of different ways.
That could be. Pit Stops with Pitmasters, Stirring It Up. I think I said that one. What's Cooking with the McLemore Boys, Raising the Stakes, a podcast from the McLemore Boys.
Maybe we'll have 100 different names, and we'll just name each podcast subtitled these names.
Could be.
But it's the McLemore Boy. What's cooking with the
Yeah,
McLemore
we'll have
Boys?
different segments with some of these stuff, but I want you guys to vote. Which one did you think was your favorite? All right.
And if we like your vote, we'll use it.
Yeah. We are going to have a competition out there as to what our Instagram podcast handle is going to be. Sorry, Leah, we didn't talk about that, but I just announced that. Tagline options: where faith, family, and freedom meet the flame.
Yeah, I kind of like that one.
Okay. Real stories, real food, real freedom. Nah. From raceways to campgrounds, we bring the table to you. Maybe. America's tailgate starts here. Yeah. Okay. We'll work on those. We'll work on the taglines. We want you guys to vote. Send in your thoughts. What is our tagline? Because we want to open the podcast with something really cool, which is my final thing: is signature sign-off lines. We want you guys to pick one or send in your thoughts. What is our signature sign-off? Here's a couple options. Until next time, gather, grill, and celebrate freedom.
I like it.
Have you heard these?
Sure. Y'all probably sent them to me in a text or an email, and I hadn't read it.
Yeah, we sent them to him on Slack, in which we refused to give his login password to. From our table to yours, God bless and keep on grilling.
Yeah.
Man, you are shooting these down
Oh,
hard.
I like both of those. I'm
Okay.
not shooting them down yet.
All right. I want to read this one because I think it's comical, and I feel like Ron Burgundy. Stay fired up, America. That's it. That's
I thought there was more to it.
I did too. I feel like Ron Burgundy right now.
Yeah.
Stay fired up.
Someday I'll go.
Stay fired up, America. And the final one that we have here: good food, good stories, great America. See you on the next tailgate.
That's kind of like a prayer. Good food, good meat, goodbye, let's eat.
That's one.
There you
go. We are going to do some prayers on here. We want you guys to know that we're praying for you.
Yeah.
We love you guys. We couldn't do what we do without y'all, our military our great patriots that serve our country, first responders, all those out there. We would love for you to give us your thoughts on what's a tagline. Do you like the name of the podcast?
Do you like the podcasters?
Do you like them? Don't ask that question. We're like, why did y'all start a podcast? Yeah. And then what's our signature sign off, guys? Great food, great stories, all the things, right?
Yeah, I like it.
What do you guys think? Dad, any final thoughts on podcast episode number 1? What's cooking with the McLemore Boys?
Is there a segment 5?
Nope.
That's it?
That's it.
That's it. I would say, see, there is
a
segment 5.
There is a segment 5. I was signing off too soon.
See, I read the emails. He wrote them. I read them.
Share favorite verse, which you did.
I did. Again, Philippians 4:13. I can do all things through Christ Jesus who strengthens me.
Where did you get that, by the way?
I don't know that I will remember. Another episode, I'll kind of tell my.
Because Mom's got a really good one.
Christian.
Bree's got a good one. Yeah. Mine is Spasms 46:10.
Spasms.
Psalms.
Really?
Yeah. Be still and know that I am God. That is mine. I'm going to read the back half of that because I don't have it memorized. But I will be exalted among the nations. I will be exalted in the earth. Is the full part of that verse. But be still and know that I am God. That's actually, I named my farm Still Mac Farms.
Yeah.
Because I feel like that's always something that I'm working on is to be still and know He is Jesus, know that He is God, and all will be okay. All right, so we shared our favorite verse.
Yeah.
We want you to join us next time for a recap. Our episode 2 is.
Hey, are we ever going to have this one to where we could start it out last night on the McLemore Boys?
Yeah, sure.
Yeah. We kind of give a recap of episode 1.
I think we're trying to decide, are we doing this weekly? Or
I think we
might do it live.
as needed.
As needed. So on episode 2, we hope this goes well, and we have an episode 2. We are going to talk about 2025, our America 250 tour. So stay tuned because we have a lot of amazing things. We got some big announcements, a lot of great partners, locations and dates that we're going to be sharing out there with you guys. So those that do follow us or want to travel along our America 250 journey and what's cooking with the McLemore Boys, we're going to be sharing those dates, talking about a recap of our 2025 and our 2026 dates coming up, and talking about our resolutions. We're going to talk about what did we accomplish this year.
Do
and
you
what do we
have a New Year's resolution?
Absolutely, but that's going to be on episode 2, so you got to stay tuned.
Share it?
Nope. But we hope you had a great Christmas, a great New Year.
Yeah. For everybody that is out there that does listen to these two rednecks, food, stories, business, faith, anything that you would like to discuss, we are well-rounded. We aren't specific.
We are well-rounded.
One thing. And we may not be, we're definitely not perfect at everything that we do, but we do love to work hard. We do love to have a good time. And if at the end of the day, through this podcast or what we do on Fox and Friends or some story in our cookbook, if there is a way that we can help you out there in any aspect, we love being able to help to give back, not just to our military, which is our focus, but to somebody that's out there saying, hey, I'm trying to start a small business, or I'm in business and I've got this particular question or whatever. I can tell you more what not to do than what to do.
Ain't that the truth?
Sure. So we're here. We love you guys. John and Leah and Peyton, amazing job getting this podcast room set up, the agenda to be able to get this done. So if this thing takes off and has a lot of success, I'll give the credit to you guys for doing it.
100%.
And I'm just along for the ride as long as God will let me ride.
I hear you. And I'm going to close it with a possible tagline from Paula Dean. Is good food is just plain old food without family and friends.
That's right.
So good food is just plain old food without family and friends. So we want your family and friends to gather around the table, gather and grow with us, and we will see y'all out there. Looking forward to episode 2. Dad, high five. See y'all next time.
Booyah!